Welcome to the RG DFS Tournament Takes podcast. I'm your host, Chris Kirkwood, KirkDiese, here with my boys, the notorious one, Derek Farnsworth, and former $1 million Millie Maker winner, showdown expert.
We're gonna stop at that because it was like 10 years ago. We can stop at that.
You can never stop.
Still can't.
It's
literally like 10 years ago.
Who cares? I can say that.
It's going on your headstone.
You got to own it, Bobby. You are a Millie Maker winner, and that needs to be known.
I'm refusing to own it 10 years later.
For the people that are new to the show. Anyways, what's going on, fellas? Week 10 tournaments are going to be weird this week. Pricing is tight. Last week was really weird week. I did well. I was talking pre-show because I played Burrow basically, but Chase didn't help me, and having Olave didn't help me. But I had a good week overall. But I'd like to have a much better week this week. But Noto, how you doing? What's happening? How you liking this slate?
Yeah, love the slate. Didn't like last week. Too much AJ Brown. Had a lot of Olave, Drake London. Too many injuries this year. But I decided to only make one lineup because I kind of been treading water with building 3 to 5 every week, and didn't work out great with injuries. But how'd you do, Bobby?
I did good. I lost with the Olave situation, but I had played Kirk Cousins without Drake London, and I had a lot of Mooney, so that worked out. I had Burrow and Chase. The one play I didn't get to was Geno Smith. I know the Sims were pretty much pushing Geno everywhere, which we need to be cognizant of when that's happening, but I just couldn't bring myself to play him with no DK Metcalf, and he's obviously ends up being optimal, but had a good week overall. I just think it could have been better if I had not X Geno.
Thinking we should use GPT to build our lineup this week, see what we get.
I think we should too, actually. Let's see what we get.
AI versus the Sims. Yeah, electric. All right. Yeah, this is we got 10 games, we got some teams on buys. We've got one high total game. We're gonna have a lot of chalk. It's tough pricing everywhere, like I'm saying. So if you can hone in on like a good lowish owned or lowish salary play that goes off, this could really be a big week where that would help tremendously. Let's do a little housekeeping here. First of all, let's because I think I missed one of the reads last week, so I'm going to say that I won't miss it this week. But let's talk about RG Combo Plug. DFS is all about value. This is the busiest time in the sports calendar year. We've got NBA going, we've got NFL going, we've got UFC for me, but it's the perfect time to sign up for RG Combo. For limited time, you get your first month of combo access for just $79.99. That's just $5 more than NBA Premium. So don't pass up on this value. We still got our RG Listener League still going. We'll be in there again this week. We'll build a team on the show today again. But don't forget to join us each week to our Listener League. Play alongside us, other members of the RG crew, and your favorite hosts. So you'll have a chance every week to compete for first place and win yourself a month of RG Combo Premium. So check out the description for an invite to the contest. And it's up on Wednesdays every week if you search around and find it. But you'll see it in our description. All right, we take it out care of it now. Splash Sports. Splash is still running a lot of Survivor Revival tournaments as well as pick'em and fantasy tier contests. Join our community games at splashsports.com/RotoGrinders. Use promo code ROTO10 upon sign up for a $10 bonus for a limited time. Play $20 in quick picks entries, and you'll get an additional $10 bonus. That is done for ad reads. Let's go. Let's get on to the slate. All right, we got 10 games. Well, let's go big picture overview first of all. Big picture. Noto, how's the slate looking to you?
Yeah, it's tough. Did we lose Bobby here?
I was about to go to him first too. And I was like,
it's tough slate. Depending on what you want to do. There's like plenty of good spend up options, but not a lot of good value plays. So it's kind of one of those weeks where trying to spend down a quarterback if I can, maybe building some 2 tight end lineup type of build, then yeah, I don't know. I don't feel great about it, but those are typically the weeks I do the best at when it's hard to make lineups. So I'm excited for the week. How about you?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, not super excited about this. I haven't figured out exactly the best way to attack it yet, but I think there's a lot of opportunities. I mean, it's going to be hard to get away from the San Francisco Tampa Bay game. Teams are just scoring at will at Tampa Bay, but like if we jam in the running backs, which is what we've been doing, it is going to make for some lineups that don't feel so great from the wide receiver position. I mean, there's some thin chalk going on in the Colts right now. We'll get to, and there's I'll be playing Nuke for sure, even at ownership, even if it's if he gets Patrick Surtain, because I think he's a difference maker, and my season-long team lucked out for him, and we actually traded him away, which I was against, but we sold high. So Paul Pierce, Irv Gotti, we are crushing them at this point in the high stakes season long. So anyway, it was nice to see him. He's such a good. That's what I said. Like people were like claiming he's washed, Dean Shevelson. I didn't agree with that, and he is a great contested catch wide receiver, and he's like a pristine route runner. So like that's perfect. That's all Mahomes needs. So like I'm on board with him. I think he's going to score another touchdown again this week, but he's cheap still, so I'm going to take advantage of that there. But it's a tough slate. So what are we thinking, Bobby? What are we thinking he's doing? He got
Oh no, but I can hop in until he gets back. We'll keep the same trio.
This is 2 weeks. This is 2 weeks in a row, Bobby. Man.
TJ kicked Bobby out of the show.
He's actually just still in the green room right now, and I just like put him out so he can't.
He's
get
like,
back
wait. No, we need Bobby. He'll be back quickly, I'm sure. Probably restarting. All right, TJ, do you have any thoughts on the big picture overview of this slate?
Basically, just that there is a severe lack of cheap value, especially on the running back side of things. We did have, I think, maybe Austin Eckler open up as a potential cheap value with Brian Robinson being out, but other than that, like the cheapest running back in my pool was going to be James Conner at 6,500 before that news broke. Much like the last couple of weeks, keeping a super duper tight player pool at the running back position. I think I only have like 9 in my pool right now. And then quarterbacks and receivers, spreading it out a little bit more because there's so many options I want to get to, because no one really stands out as like awesome. You know, I think we'll get to it, but I think like Darnold and Purdy and those stacks are going to be my favorites, but they're everybody's favorites this week. And so it's kind of the clear, obvious options, everybody's going to them, and nothing else really looks great. So it's a good week to get different, but not necessarily sure how I want to do it yet.
Yeah, exactly how I feel. That's why we need Bobby with a fire pick somewhere down the range for GPPs that we're all gonna like at some point. And Bobby is back. Bobby, can you hear us?
All week, this has been an issue. I have no idea why. All week, just keep getting booted.
Trump is anti.
Could be Trump. Could be Trump. Anti my Wi-Fi. Yep.
Anti Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Right. So what was the question? Where are we at?
Yeah, we all went through big picture overview. Do you have any takes? Big picture overview. Cool.
Yeah, pricing's tight. I think it's a good tournament slate. Looking at San Fran a ton, like just versus Tampa Bay. Interested in Aaron Rodgers. I like Sam Darnold too in tournaments. That's pretty much the 3 quarterbacks I'm targeting, but I know we're about to talk running backs and then get into quarterbacks, so we can just save it for a little bit.
All right, we will do that. So like I said, we got 10 games. We got the highest total game is San Fran, 6.5 point favorite, heading to Tampa Bay with their Swiss cheese secondary. They just give up so many points. They've also been pretty good matchup for running backs too, but one thing you always have to know is you can't run up the middle on Vita Vea. But and C-Max back. Then from there, we drop all the way down. Next highest is a 46.5 point total. Atlanta -3.5 at New Orleans. Then we have Buffalo, the Bills -3.5 at the Colts, and Amari Cooper is questionable, I think, and he's had a cast on his wrist or something. So not sure how much they'll be using him, but I definitely like that game. I definitely think that could end up shooting out. There could be a lot of good fantasy plays there, but Josh Allen does spread it around, so it gets a little crazy sometimes. But then the last would be the New York Jets 1.5 at Arizona at 46.5 point total. So we have one high total. That's where all the ownership's going to go for sure, and for good reason. I'll look at the Thorman snaps and pace, which I had the up and pace games he's got are Denver at KC, Pittsburgh at Washington, and the Buffalo game. But it says Indy is down in pace, but Buffalo should set the tone and have a ton of plays. And then Cardi's got blitz most plays, Atlanta at New Orleans, Philly at Dallas, which with no Dak. So that's makes that game less interesting for sure. And then Denver at KC and Pittsburgh at Washington right behind there. So they're kind of on board with each other. All right, let's do it how we always do. We will start with running backs, and because that's the most important part of the lineup, especially this season. And then we will move it over to quarterback, pair that with our wide receivers, tight ends, defensive plays, and we will build a lineup. And then I will give another UFC winner because I just can't stop hitting winners on Saturday nights. All right, running back position. I'll start naming the chalk. Looks like Alvin Kamara. It's going to be probably the chalkiest or right up there. It's Olave went down. They have no receivers. It's wouldn't know who to play at the wide receiver position, but they have Kamara and they have the drop-offs, and Derek Carr is still playing, although he hung Olave out to dry there, and I was so pissed. And then we got Aaron Jones, Jacksonville playing Mac Jones, starting Mac, which is crazy to me. It looks like the Wong of the century to me, Noto, because like you got the pressure defense of Minnesota with the highest blitz rate against the guy who can't move his feet, right? Like should be pretty good, in my opinion. But it feels like a trap. It feels like it's so easy. It's a trap. DeAndre Swift, Breece Hall, Bijan, James Conner, Jonathan Taylor, all the way to Saquon Barkley. Eckler getting a bump maybe because of Brian Robinson out. I think those are the plays. Maybe a J.K. Dobbins. I don't really have much further from there that I like, but I'll start it off with you, Noto. Who's your key personnel at the running back position this week?
Yeah, hard to ignore Alvin Kamara. You mentioned the receivers for the Saints. They're not very healthy with Olave being out, Rashid Shaheed being out. And then you look at their running backs. I mean, Jamal Williams is out again. Kendrick Miller's on IR. So, I mean, Alvin Kamara had 35 touches last week. He's had 20 targets the last 2 games. Good matchup indoors against the Falcons. So he'll be a priority for me. I like Bijan Robinson a lot in that game as well. New Orleans has been one of the worst run defenses. Bijan's had at least 20 fantasy points in each of the last 4 games. The touch totals are going up. The targets are going up. You mentioned Aaron Jones. I kind of worry that they're going to get up big in that game, like you mentioned, and just ease in Aaron Jones because he's had a bigger workload the last couple of games. But it's hard to ignore. We saw Josh Jacobs go off against the Jaguars. We saw Saquon Barkley go off against the Jaguars. So those are my 3 that I have tagged right now. But love DeAndre Swift. I like pairing him up with the Bears defense. He's had at least 20 touches in 4 of the last 5 games. I think it's a pretty good spot for him at home against the Pats. What are you doing with C-Mac? That's kind of my biggest question of the week.
He's kind of priced cheaply. Not really over on Yahoo. I was thinking about playing him there potentially, but he's only 8K. I don't know what to do. To me, it would seem counterintuitive for them to push him too hard, especially with his nagging injuries. But I feel like when he's out there, he goes full throttle. So I'm kind of torn on it. I think he makes for a good GPP play because you never know how. I mean, he could just step into a massive role again. But and he's also, I mean, everybody's chalk besides him, right? This week on San Francisco, Debo's chalk, Brock Purdy's chalk. I don't know. Thinking about it is where I am at this point. I haven't really made a clear decision yet.
What do you think a realistic touch expectation is? Like 15?
Yeah. Some probably that's what I would think if they were just playing conservative like they probably should be, like 10 to 15 somewhere in that. Just get it, wet his whistle a little bit, and he could break one for sure anyway. But
crazy thing
I
about
don't know,
that,
but he might get a lot of passing work too.
yeah, 28th in red zone touchdown rate this season for the Niners. That's crazy. So he's going to help that big time. He's a big boost for their offense as a whole. I do like him in tournaments, but yeah, I just don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I don't know either. Damn shame. Can we?
I'm here.
Bobby?
I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
here. My that's. I figured you didn't. Yeah, my my camera's not working.
All right.
We're gonna have to basically get a whole new setup here. Aaron Jones, for me, I think he's going to be someone who people are going to gravitate towards. I'm not going to play him over the field. I like Darnold Jefferson stacks, kind of leverage Aaron Jones ownership. Like you said on Kamara, taking a lot of guys out of that offense. I think you have to think about how you play Kamara with Taysom Hill, if you're going to do that, if you're not going to do that. Last week, I think that was a big decision point for me, whether I was going to play the two of them together, and I ended up doing it. I in terms of this week, I think you can still make that case. I do think that Kamara's price has come up a little bit, so maybe that's not really the best route. That'll be something I'll have to think through more. I don't know if you guys have an opinion on that. Christian McCaffrey, I'll be overweight to the field slightly at least, just because he's CMC. He seems like he's going to be lesser owned than the majority of these running backs. We know the ceiling that he has. Also, you're taking Ayuk out of the offense, so when you do that, it opens up more usage. And we're kind of in flux on how much usage we think McCaffrey could see. If he was fully healthy, he'd see a ton of it. So right now, I think even if he gets 15 touches in the run game, and how many do you think he gets in the passing game? Or are you just saying 15 touches overall?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, that would kind of be my prediction, but I don't know.
Yeah, 15 touches overall, and I don't know. I think he might get a little bit more than that. What if he gets 20 touches? Like, I want to play McCaffrey.
Is it possible we get a Taysom quarterback passing touchdown to Kamara?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Taysom was lining up everywhere last week.
I think they're fine to play together.
Yeah, they're fine. Taysom's 4K. It's not like he's like 5,500 or 6K.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he's been ever. In terms of running backs outside of that, like really, Breece Hall, I think, is someone that's going to be chalky. I think you can leverage that with the Jets passing game. Saquon, someone I want to be over on. Just going to try to get over on Saquon Barkley versus Dallas. Dallas can't really stop anyone in the run game, so fine with that. Kareem Hunt as well, I think, is in a really good spot for the Chiefs. That's mainly running back. Sorry about my camera.
It's all right, Bobby. Just happy to have you here. So
you seem enthusiastic. I'll say that.
No, that was genuine. That was
genuine. Yeah,
it was genuine. TJ, step in. Give us a couple running back plays.
Super tight pool for me this week. I got Barkley, Kamara, Bijan, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, James Cook. Both running backs in that game I like quite a bit. Cook doesn't project really well, but I think he's an awesome tournament play. Especially if we end up getting Cooper out in addition to Keon Coleman. I could see them just running the ball a ton against the Colts. Aaron Jones, James Conner, Austin Eckler. Really, really small pool.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I like Jonathan Taylor a lot too. I mean, it's
I want to bring him
sick matchup for him. Buffalo 31st in DVP per Noto's first look article that everyone should be checking out. That has all the stats that you want. And it's leverage off of all the other plays in this game. So from the downs is going to be popular.
Receiving work goes up with Flacco.
Yeah. Exactly, and I like this. I like the chances of this game shooting out too. Black, they don't pressure. The Bills don't pressure on defense, so yeah, they have like a bend don't break, which is kind of anti-Flacco for like the long passes downfield, but they also don't blitz, which he's notoriously, bad when he's hurrying up. So if you give him time there, he should be able to pick apart and Buffalo. So I think this game has high shootout potential.
Yeah, what are you doing with Austin Eckler? Looked great in the first half and then had 4 touches in the second half.
Yeah.
That was game script.
Kind of. But did what's his name earn more
I think Rodriguez kind of earned more reps in the second half.
Yeah. I think Eckler's still fine. I think that there's this game could be kind of gross, but Washington offense has been good all season. It's not outside of the question that they still put up a bunch of points in this game. You can use Eckler during the passing game. Also, it makes, with Robinson out, it makes them more of an offense with Eckler designed towards passing. So I could see Rodriguez not having a lot of success against Pittsburgh and then using Eckler in the passing game more in this game. So I'm not scared to go back to him at 5,800.
Questions about Tank Bigsby, Tony Pollard? I'm playing either of them.
I have no Bigsby. I don't think I'll have any Pollard.
Same.
I think Eckler's good to be over the field on, for what it's worth.
What about Saquon? I mean, this is a game that Philly should just sit back and hand the ball off to him. But
I think Saquon's my favorite GPP running back.
I'd want to say Hunt, but it's a tough matchup against the run for Denver.
I think the two of them are very good plays. If they're both going to come around 10% owned, Saquon and Hunt in those offenses make a good bit of sense. Any interest in Najee Harris?
It's a good spot.
It's a really good spot.
Yeah, I do. I don't 6,200. Why not?
Why not? Yeah, throw him in there. What about another one, J.K. Dobbins? If we think the Chargers revert back to this 1950s offense versus the Titans, which is a team you can beat on the ground.
I think everyone's making too much out of this. Herbert's passing at a ridiculous rate. Harbaugh's changed. this is still Harbaugh. He wants he's been holding out for a couple of weeks, and he just wants to
It gets him going when he starts
the juice going. You give a nice 6-yard run, that guy's
that's like a 40-yard touchdown pass to him. So
all horned up. He's all horned up after that.
Yeah.
All right. I like James Conner too. You guys said that the Jets. That's what you do. He ran bad to not get for Benson to get that long touchdown, and he went off the field for concussion potentially, and then
does he always go off the field?
Yeah, every week.
Every week.
Touches,
it's just bad luck experience. He had 18 runs
off the field at the goal line for Trey Benson to come in. When you're playing him and he's under owned, and he was a strong play last week. Always, I'm just saying it was just
same with Breece Hall. He runs these long runs and gets tackled inside the 5, and then he's too tired, so they have to take him out every time.
Yeah,
21 touches last week, 18 rushes, 107 rushing yards against Chicago. I'm a stand for James Conner. I'm a sucker for James Conner, so I like him again.
Are we suckers for Breece Hall is the question. I think that's something we should consider because he's going to be pretty popular in Rodgers stacks. Maybe you just play Rodgers and don't play Breece Hall.
Yeah, I'm more on the passing game.
I'm more on the passing game too.
Yeah. I think I like Bijan better than him.
Yeah.
I like Swift. I love Swift.
Yeah.
I'm sick. Okay. I probably for 7 weeks in a row, I probably said I just don't play DeAndre Swift.
You're on board now. Okay.
But I'm on board, and he's playing the Pats. Every running back scores against the Patriots.
Especially a running back in the type of running back that Swift is. He's one of those guys that do it in the passing game too. Yeah. I like the Swift call.
So, yeah, I think we mentioned them all. I don't really have any fire. It's pretty tough. It's running backs. These guys are such good plays. These are the good plays you want in your lineups, and then we got to figure out what crap we got to use around them. So I'm not really deviating too much from a lot of these guys this week. All right. Do you have any like flyer plays that we missed, or should we head on over to QB?
Nope.
Head on over.
Yeah.
All right. Brock Purdy gonna be chalk, but like what quarterback chalk doesn't matter. It's more like the weapons you use with him. I mean, what he's projected to be like 10 to 20% owned. 20% gets a little dicey in small field stuff, but a Herbert, I mean, he's cheap, and he's coming off of a game where he had 27 passing attempts. So I can see it. Tennessee, I think the way we play this game is we go to Dobbins, but you can pair him up easily with McConkey. So I get it. He's kind of a good wide receiver play, but this is going to be a chalk combo, McConkey and Herbert. And then there's Sam Darnold, there's Aaron Rodgers. Tougher to fit Daniels and Josh Allen, but I love Josh Allen this week. I think this game shoots out, like I've been saying. So, and you have less weapons for him, so it makes it a little bit easier to like pull the trigger on like a Kincaid or a Shakir with Coleman out, and then a banged up Amari Cooper. And Mahomes with Hopkins now gives him a good wide receiver one weapon. So those are the quarterbacks that I've been looking at. I know people are talking about Mac Jones. You will never catch me playing Mac Jones. It's just not. I've seen too much of that guy. He can't move. But
is he a country club kid?
He's absolutely.
Oh,
That's my no country club kids. Absolutely.
I better untag him.
I see. I knew that's what I was going to say. That was my first thing, is whether I wanted to know whether Noto's playing Mac Jones, because Noto loves him some cheap QB. I know that.
Yeah, it doesn't work out for me, but I do love it.
So where are you playing? Who are you playing?
Yeah, I love Aaron Rodgers this week. Arizona, bottom 3 pressure rate this season. He's got, with Alan Lazard out, Mike Williams traded. We know it's going to Devontae and Garrett Wilson. Great matchup indoors. I think the Jets are going to go on a big run here the next 4 or 5 weeks. So I love Aaron Rodgers. He's my favorite quarterback. I don't mind Brock Purdy. The Bucs have given up just an incredible amount of points over the last 5 games, 30, 31, 41, 27, and 36. So, and now they're facing like one of the best offenses in the NFL. So I like Purdy. I like Aaron Rodgers. I don't hate Mac Jones just from a roster construction standpoint, but I tried that with Bryce Young last week. Didn't really work out for me. And yeah, you can always play Sam Darnold anytime facing the Jags, get some leverage off of Aaron Jones. I like that quite a bit. Don't love a ton of quarterbacks this week.
Yeah, it's pretty gross, which is why everybody's just going to the high total and going to Brock Purdy. What are you thinking, Bobby?
I'm with Noto on the Rodgers train. Is this the Trump pump for Rodgers? Like, I don't know. They're still the Jets. I don't know if I can really still worry about the Jets passing game, but I feel like the Jets are in a good spot these next few weeks as well. I'll go to basically go to Devontae, go to Garrett Wilson. I think playing Rodgers in the stack and leaving out Breece Hall makes a good bit of sense. I think you can make the same case with Purdy. But Purdy, if McCaffrey had been chalky, I would have been more willing to leave him out of the stack. Now that McCaffrey's not going to be as chalky, I can pretty much get in on some Purdy, McCaffrey, Debo, like Juwan Jennings. I think that makes a good bit of sense. Throw any one of those guys, I'm fine with Purdy. Probably not Jennings by himself. Would rather have Debo or McCaffrey in there as well. Think that Sam Darnold too. Justin Jefferson is very interesting, and it's the same type of build type where you're pretty much not playing Aaron Jones chalk, getting to Darnold and Jefferson, maybe TJ Hawkinson, who worked back in last week, maybe some Jordan Addison. I like Darnold stacks. And then Joe Flacco is going to be not as chalky as Josh Downs. I think playing Flacco with Downs is one of the ways to differentiate Josh Downs chalk. I think that's a fine way to build. That's pretty much where I'm at, though. Like, I'm tight on QB too. Mahomes is someone we don't usually love for fantasy. think this is a different week in the context of the slate. You could definitely play Pat, play him with Kareem Hunt. If DeAndre Hopkins is moving into that Rashee Rice role or whatever he seemed to be in the other night on the Island game, like I'm all for that. So fine with Mahomes as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any, like, other than that. I think we've hit on all plays. I don't really want to deviate too much. I mean, like, do you think there's any chance Dallas plays well in this game against Hurts?
To be honest, like, I do think that Cooper Rush is more viable than like what the problem is CeeDee Lamb's so expensive. Like, I only want CeeDee Lamb, right?
Yeah.
And he's super priced up. But, like, I do think Cooper Rush is somewhat capable. Like, how much of a drop-off with Dak's play is it going to be to Cooper Rush this year? Remember when Cooper Rush came back, came in 2 years ago in relief of Dak, and they won, 4 in a row?
Yeah. And first game with the backup quarterback's always good for whatever reason.
Is that
that's his Mac Jones spiel. That's, he's already Noto's already committed.
You're in on Mac, Noto? You can't play the country club guy, dude.
I know. See, this is why I love doing the show. You guys will talk me off my bad plays. So
it isn't a bad play. He's 4,400. It's just he's
going to get 12, and then it's going to Rodgers. I'm just going to play Rodgers. He's going to get 25.
So what about Kyler on the other side of that Rodgers game?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get him with a good pass rush, he's going to be running a lot. He seems to play better in these tougher matchups too. I played him in a bunch of soft matchups, and he hasn't done anything. So I like Kyler, but who do you pair him with? I don't.
Yeah, that becomes an issue. McBride, Marvin Harrison, if he ever comes back to life at some point.
So the craziest thing about this season,
I was just going to say, this feels like a day that Marvin Harrison has 4 or 5 catches for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well, what's funny was the only week I lost on Yahoo was the week that I faded a really cheap Marvin Harrison, and he absolutely went nuclear, right? And I had him for Cooper. I wanted to spend up for Cooper Kupp, who went down and got injured. It's like I ran, so everyone was talking smack, and it was just such a lucky run out for everyone who got there. He's done nothing all season except that one game, but whatever. Yeah, let's just go to wide receiver. I mean, you can make a case to play any QB this week, to be honest with you. If the offense does well,
I'm still with Noto on being tight at QB though. I don't love anything outside. I guess you can make a case for everyone, but
yeah, I'm just saying I've got nothing I want to touch on, but the ones I have I'm gonna have a small core too. But I'm saying you could make a case, right? You could make a case for Kirk Cousins. You could make a case for even Drake May. Yeah, Jalen. That's what I was saying. Do we think the Cowboys can push back enough for Hurts?
Yeah, Hurts could get 10 more than any other quarterback this week.
Yeah. That's what
I do think the Cowboys can push back enough. I don't mind the Hurts call. I should look into Hurts more.
Or can Caleb do anything?
Is Caleb good?
He stinks, right? Is the electric? Did he make the stinks column?
Depends on the week. Yeah.
All right. TJ's on Flacco. I like the Flacco call. I'd rather play Josh Allen personally, but I like that game.
Did we even talk about Josh Allen, really?
I did. I mentioned him he's probably my favorite.
I must have tuned you out. You tuned me out.
I didn't know you were there, Bobby.
I know.
He's probably giving us the finger.
I am.
All right. Let's move. Yeah, thank you. Let's move it to wide receiver. Let's talk about the chalk. Josh Downs, delicious chalk in my opinion. I think he's good chalk. I think Flacco just makes him. I think Pittman being out, and they're just gonna. I think they're gonna need him in this game a lot. So I like him. I like playing the angle to get off him because he's so chalky. I like playing the Jonathan Taylor angle more, but I'm not gonna fault you for Josh Downs. But he is gonna be chalky. Lad McConkey is going to be chalk, 5,900. I get it. Wide receiver 1 in Herbert's passing the ball a lot more. Had a massive game against New Orleans. So there's definitely ceiling there. I'm a little hesitant on it personally, but DeAndre Hopkins, I think, is a lock. I don't care if it's Patrick Surtain. I just think he's going to win with Mahomes. I think he's the perfect fit for Mahomes. So if he stays healthy, I think he keeps going and going. I like Shakir, who should be the wide receiver one, low ADOT guy. But like, who's Josh Allen going to pass to besides Kincaid or Shakir?
Amari
You
Cooper.
know? I mean, with a cast on his hand, guy has trouble catching anyway.
Yeah.
And
James
then
Cook.
there's, that could happen. He could also just run him in himself, but
I'm just breaking your balls.
it's all right. Garrett Wilson, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams. These are the chalky guys. Bobby started off.
Yeah, Josh Downs looks like good chalk with Pittman out. Like, just play him. Sterling Shepard, to me, I guess, like, from a value perspective, you could go there at 4,100. I have question marks about it. He's Sterling Shepard. He does have the shower narrative with Baker Mayfield, so that's always good, you know. Good
Yeah.
shower.
No, you were just picturing the shower. Is that what was going on over there?
Yeah, the shower narrative is always good. I didn't know about this.
You made some noises. I don't know what was going on.
It's always
Shower narrative's okay.
What were they? Were they slap? What were you picturing? Little slapping towels? Little what? Like,
No,
Let's
I
twist him in
wasn't
towel.
on Shepard.
little
Now
snap.
I have to.
Kirk was a big snap towel guy in the locker room. You just know that. No, I think Shepard's a fine value at 4,100. I mean, we're starved for value on the slate. What are you going to do?
Well, McMillan's also questionable. Did you guys just say that or no?
Is he questionable?
Yeah.
That is Noto's line
Yeah,
of
he's
work.
McMillan and Shepard are both questionable for what it's worth. Both of them have-
Shepard's off the injury.
Yeah, I think
list,
Shepard's
thought.
off it.
He pulled off today. Okay, that's what I was just searching.
How about AD Mitchell, guys? Is he ever going to do anything this season?
Well, he's going to be
He's-
chalky. People are talking him up everywhere.
3,400. Alec Pierce has been pretty good too.
Pearson?
Alec Pierce for
Alec
Indy.
Pierce, sorry. Yeah.
That game against Jacksonville with Flacco, he had a big game.
Yeah.
Devontae, like we already kind of hit on Devontae.
Yeah, do you guys prefer Garrett or Devontae?
I prefer Devontae. Like they're going to get going. They're ready. They're coming in. I think it's going to be Rodgers to Adams. Garrett had the week last week. Now you get Adams as 2 TDs.
I would play Devontae over Garrett personally too.
That's what I'm struggling with.
What about
Jefferson?
Debo?
Yeah, Debo and Jefferson.
But like Debo's had like nagging injuries and sickness, and feels like always something with that guy, and he's chalk.
Yeah, but I mean, the last time we saw him, he had that long touchdown call back, and coming off a bye, I think he'll be fine.
All right, take your word for it, and blame you if I lose you. Let's see who else. I mean, Juwan Jennings. I love how like when everyone was out and a lot of the industry saying he doesn't have a ceiling, and he did 49 fantasy points.
Who said that he had no ceiling? He had been targeting him like relentlessly with the 3 of them in.
Yeah.
I like Juwan Jennings. I think he's a good player. I'm fine being over the field on Jennings. I think the Debo Jefferson situation is interesting. Like, are we really getting 10% owned Justin Jefferson? Like, sign me up.
Yeah, because you're going to get a lot of Aaron Jones.
Yeah. Jags play the most man coverage. He should torch them.
He should absolutely torch them, right? Yeah, we like some Justin Jefferson. So do we like Justin Jefferson more than Debo though?
I do.
I think that's an interesting decision point. I think I prefer Jefferson.
Same.
Yeah.
What about Odunze?
He's my favorite Bears receiver by far.
And he's in that range, 5,200, where like a lot of this like suspect chalk is kind of coming from.
He's got the buy 'em for tag, which I always like.
There you go.
Like DJ Moore's 6,300. I'd rather take the savings on a Dunes.
Quentin Johnson.
I don't know if I'm ready to buy in yet.
I can't chase that.
What about George Pickens, though?
I like Quentin Johnson.
Quentin Johnson's better than Lab McConkey, and I think he's by far the better play. And I don't understand why people like McConkey so much all the time.
Thank
I'll
you.
play Quentin Johnson if TJ gives me his vote of approval.
Well, I was trying to. You didn't take my vote of approval for him, but thank you for TJ to come in and back me up here.
McConkey has only had like one good game this entire season. And when Johnston's been healthy and in the lineup, he's been really good.
And he's an athlete, like a sick athlete.
Speaking of athletes, Bobby, did you run your 40 yet?
I haven't. I'm gonna do it on. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna film it and I'll send it to you guys.
I'll film it. I'll film it.
Yeah, Kirk can film it. Yeah.
Maybe I'll fly out there for this.
Oh,
We'll make it an
wow.
event. We can do
Always
the show.
love it.
We can do the show live.
Love to
together.
have you, Bobby. We've got restaurants Bobby's restaurant you can go to.
We could have a lot of fun if you came out here. No doubt.
Let's do it.
You gotta get out.
I thought. By the way, I thought your son was going to make an appearance on the show this week.
He's
No,
at a
he's-
basketball camp right now.
I thought you meant
I wanted to see those frosted tips.
I'll do
he
so.
has frosted tips.
He did, but cut his hair last night, and so the tips are gone.
Oh,
All right.
frosted tips ain't a bad way to go when you're a kid, you know.
Yeah, he looked pretty good.
I think I did the M&M thing.
I did for sure.
Bleached it blonde. I don't know what I was thinking. What my parents were thinking.
You were blonde, bleached.
Like, did you listen to the CD? No, I was.
I
Yeah.
was too, yeah.
I think everyone was at one point, right? Except Kirkwood, apparently.
I actually have one story with a stupid haircut. It was when I was in Vegas and I was like there way too long, and this hairdresser sold me on. I was like, just do whatever you want. She's like, why don't we give you some color? And I came back with like black hair. It was like, and it worked. When I went into work, everyone was calling me Elvis. It was awful.
Did you lose a bet or something? How did that go down? You just were like, fine, I'm going to throw color in my hair.
It was an attractive hairstylist. It was like, let's do this. She like sold me on it.
So
And I was like,
they got
I was like,
it.
oh,
You
I was
got
in
it.
Vegas, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, let's go.
Can we go for dinner afterwards if I let you do this? Yeah, I know that went down.
All right. Do we got any other plays here?
What about George Pickens?
Ooh.
No Lattimore yet for Washington.
I like Pickens. I'm fine with Pickens. I talked to Blender about this play. He did not like this play. I think that Russell Wilson and Pickens is viable this week, even though I didn't mention Russell Wilson in the QB segment. Running it back, would we have any interest in Noah Brown at 4,300?
Yeah, I mean, if you think Joey Porter is going to shut down McLaurin, I like it.
Man, that connection is building strong. The McLaurin,
I know.
Jaden connection. Like, so that's the thing about this game, right? I think you're right, Bobby. Pickens makes for a great play if this game, if Washington can score easily or put their foot on, if their offenses can still be efficient, then they're going to have to use them, right?
I would imagine they'd have to use him. So I think Pickens is a good play. I like the one I do have the question mark on is McLaurin, but like you said, their rapport has kind of significantly grown since week one. So I'm fine with if you want to throw McLaurin as a run back in a Wilson stack or a Jaden Daniels stack, whatever.
But I'm going to re-emphasize that I like the Odudens play. He'll get the better matchup as to DJ Moore with and he's coming off of a big game where it's like we've been waiting for this kid to go, and it's been bad quarterback play and whatnot. But he had his 5 reception, 100-yard last week, and could certainly build on that here.
I think that call might be the call of the slate, the Odunze play. He just seems like a receiver that would destroy the Patriots.
5,200.
Yeah, and he's right in that chalk range, like you said.
What about the Falcons? No Lattimore anymore. London nursing that hip injury.
Yeah, he's been banged up a little bit, but said he felt good.
The nice thing about London is he's not chalk this week, right? Like we can play him
chalk every week, huh?
We can play him not into 20% ownership. I do question the ceiling. Like I think he's hit a ceiling like once this entire year in that Tampa Bay game, but I'd rather play him when he's not chalky.
So what about Cortland? Did we mention Cortland Sutton?
I'm always a Sutton fan.
I mean, just game log watch one time. I mean, he's coming off of 2 11 target, 10 targets, over 100 yards in each game, and in a game where they're going to have to.
Yeah, he threw a touchdown to Bo Nix.
Yeah,
I hate.
They're going to have to keep up with KC.
He would be the guy.
Brandon's asking, did Bobby shave? He looks a little different.
Leave me alone with my camera, guys. We were having issues here. It's been a rough week with this camera. So, chat, be nice to me.
All right, let's move it on over to tight end. This is where it gets interesting because you're going to get, if you just from running optimizers, you're going to get a lot of double tight end builds. One of them is going to be with a guy who Bobby will not be playing. There's no way he can't give in now at this point. But
no. I would never. I can't fade anymore. I can't do it.
Cade Otton, who has had an incredible role these last 3 weeks, 10 targets, 11 targets, and has looked pretty damn good. Scored 3 touchdowns over that frame, 100-yard game against Baltimore, 81 yards against Atlanta, against KC, 77 yards. McMillan possibly down again. Obviously, they don't have Evans or Godwin still. I think it's Shepard. It's Shepard and Otton, and then they're how much do they want to run or use the running backs in their passing games? They've got 3-headed monster now potentially with running back carries up for grabs. But Baker's it seems content on chucking it no matter who he's got out there. So I think Otton's awesome play again personally. Travis Kelce, tough to pay for. I think you're going to see a little bit of a step back now with Nuke in there, but they both had great games against Tampa, but Denver's a different defense than Tampa. But I think you can still make the case for him. Kittle has the matchup with Tampa Bay. I think he's the top tight end matchup per Pro Football Focus this week. There's Taysom. There's a chalky Will Dissly, and the only reason he's chalky is because he's 3,100 and is seeing a bunch of low ADOT targets. I think I get it because it's just tough to build without getting savings there, but get up to Otton, in my opinion, or to Kittle or to Taysom. I would much rather find 900 and play Taysom over Will Dissly, but I'll let you guys tell me what you think there. So, Noto.
Yeah, I thought I was so smart for playing Taysom over Gesicki last week. It was looking great in the first half, and then Gesicki caught those 2 late touchdowns. But I'll go right back to the 5 targets, 5 rushing attempts. Again, the Saints don't have any other running backs other than Kamara. They're missing Olave, so I like him at 4K. No issue with Otton. Historically, San Fran's just been so good at covering the middle of the field because of their linebackers, but it's hard to ignore the targets for Otton. Mentioned Kittle, Kelce, I'm fine with them. I like Dalton Kincaid quite a bit. Middle of the field is typically open against Indy. And again, no Keon Coleman there. I'm fine fading the Will Dissly chalk. If it hurts me, so be it. Maybe play Hunter Henry instead. I think you're muted, Bobby. Or Kirk.
No, I was waiting for Kirk. I'm good.
Oh, no, I'm saying I like Hunter Henry. Good call, and I was muted. Amateur hour over here, but not as bad as Bobby with no camera. But
thanks, Kirk. I appreciate it.
Who do you like?
Thanks for pointing it out again.
Yeah.
No, you go.
I already did. I already went.
Yeah, for me, the Gesicki play last week was probably it got there. I played him. It seemed like a terrible, terrible play. Just with 3 tight ends there and him being 20 to 30. How owned was he? It was just an awful play. I had Taysom in my best teams. I got lucky and just had Gesicki, but I thought about Xing him. This week, there's no, in terms of standout plays, There's nothing like I'll say Evan Ingram is an interesting run back if you're playing Justin Jefferson stacks because there's no Christian Kirk there right now. I don't really rely on much in their passing game outside of him or Brian Thomas. So Evan Ingram's an interesting tournament look. You can go right back to Taysom. I think he's fine. Cade Otton, just don't fade him because he'll murder you. So play him. And Zach Ertz, I think, is someone at 3.8. I would prefer him to Will Dissly. Will Dissly, I think, is a complete fade for me. I'm with Noda.
Some crazy rumors going on in chat right now.
What are the rumors?
I don't know. Crazy what's being said in there. Anyways, yeah.
Now I have to pull up chat.
No, don't worry. It's nothing. Nothing to see here.
What are you guys saying? Like I'm in my underwear?
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying there's people. But TJ's using the band hammer potentially. You know, TJ's got a quick trigger finger with that. So he'll keep it kosher. All right. Yeah, I think we fade Dissly. We play Otton, Kittle, Hill.
Are there any other cheap guys you like?
Juwan Johnson, maybe, because they just have no one else.
Yeah.
These rumors are this is not correct.
Right. We trust you, Bobby. We can't look into your eyes and try to make that assumption whether you're telling the truth or not. We trust you.
This show has gone officially off the rails.
About time. Chat's on something today.
You got to give Chad credit though. They know how to. They're good at what they do. They're good trolls.
Wow. He's using Brandon McNair using that I can't get banned. He's too powerful card. Now he's really testing TJ.
Don't ban him. Don't ban him.
TJ got him.
I'm not a ban guy. Don't ban anyone.
TJ, I told you he's got a quick finger. Don't dare him. You don't want to dare him.
Don't call me out. If you call me out, I'm coming. I didn't hit the ban though. I just hit the timeout because that was kind of funny.
A little timeout. Relax, settle down, take a deep breath.
Yeah, a little timeout's fine. No bans. We don't ban.
Yeah, I like that Hunter Henry call a lot, actually. So I'm not going to get too cute. I've named everyone I like, and I'll name them again. It's Otton, it's Henry, it's Kittle, it's Taysom Hill, and Kincaid or Juwan Johnson. So that's a lot. But I think Cade would be my favorite. Taysom Hill would be from the price point. If I don't have the money, he'd be my second favorite. And then I think it would be Kincaid and Hunter Henry. All right, defense. What do you got lined up for us, Bobby?
It always falls on me. I think Noto's like upseeded me in this defensive category. Let's let Noto
by
go.
Default, I go to you because you started the whole trend with this. So.
I'm the trend starter. That's great. I'm the defenses.
It became the Bobby Gomes defensive segment. I mean,
you're right. There's truth to that. I'm gonna go the Chargers versus Will Levis because actually we're paying $3,800 for the Chargers. I'd rather play the Chiefs if I'm paying up in defense. Oh,
yeah. The chalk is gonna be the Bears against Drake May. We saw.
Let's try the Jaguars. I guess the Jaguars. If you're playing them into Aaron Jones chalk, I guess that's fine. I still like Darnold and Jefferson a good bit though.
What about the Pats?
Pats are fine. Caleb Williams is averaged. I don't think they probably regret they didn't draft Jaden Daniels at this point. I know we're only 9 games in, but yeah, Pats are fine at 2,500.
No, got any takes? What about I don't want the Broncos.
Feels like the chalk D's just been smashing every week. So I'll play a lot of Bears, but I like Washington a little bit. Russell Wilson only making 2 starts. Washington's been a lot better defensively the last few weeks playing at home. Don't mind the Vikings either, going up against your boy, Mac Jones.
Cowboys get Parsons back.
Does he help in the run game at all? Like, should I be – I feel like he doesn't, but maybe he does. I don't know. Like maybe
Yeah.
temper my Saquon take. I really like Saquon this week.
Yeah, don't worry about it. All right, that's a wrap for that. Let's build our team. Who? I don't know. I don't think
You're
we have
using ChatGPT?
Yeah, I don't know how to use it. I was joking.
I'll use it.
Pull it up. Say what is the best small field GPP? Because let's get like. I don't want it to get too crazy on us lineup. But, anyways, Noto, who would you start the lineup with?
Let's go Swift and the Bears D.
TJ, get in here, bud.
This isn't even correct.
Who do you want?
I'm worried. I don't like those guys.
Well,
It's a team effort. I'll take the ball,
Bears
so-
D might be missing a lot of defensive pieces this week. I'm kind of pro Drake May and the Patriots offense, but that's fine. That's okay. I'll throw in Josh Downs.
I want a QB I want someone with a QB take.
Then Flacco and Downs.
How do we? Yeah, okay. Let's do Flacco. Let's try to see if we can do Josh Allen. Josh
And then Downs
Allen,
is a run back.
Downs, and Shakir, or should we go tight end and go Kincaid?
No, I wouldn't go Kincaid. I like
Shakir?
I like the Shakir Downs route.
Okay, Bobby, give me a running back.
ChatGPT likes Brees Hall.
All right, is that a boy? Let's see what
It's
we
giving
got.
me. Why is it giving me?
I should stay behind the scenes. I don't want my name attached to the Chat GPT lineup.
Hunter Henry.
As much as I don't like Bears D, I like that more than the Chat GPT lineup.
I don't
Hunter
understand. It's giving me Tank Dell. Houston's not even on the slate.
Well, he's
ChatGPT
He's banged up too.
Yeah, Tank's on FanDuel slate.
All right, so if we go Josh Allen to Shakir with a run back at Downs, we have Swift and Hall as our two running backs and a tight end of Hunter Henry in the Bears B. There's two spots for a flex and a wide receiver where you're going to probably have to play Sterling Shepard or someone, but it can be done. Can we actually? Let me just see.
I think we need one of Aaron Jones or Justin Jefferson on the team.
Yeah, I like that.
Wow. If I put out Dunze, that's too many Bears. All right, whatever. You got two spots, 9,100. Figure it out. We'll figure it out. All righty. UFC bets. I got one. I've got a couple. I'm on a ridiculous run. It's going to be Jillian Robertson inside the distance. And also, it's going to be that's going to be like minus 140, which I don't love the price, but also this is I bet huge on fight does not go the distance for that fight, so I like those two for bets. Other than that, I don't have any strong. Like I'm throwing the hammer on those two. Yeah, that's it. So. That's all I got for the UFC bets. All right. Any final words for the people, Noto?
Nah, good luck. I'll probably untag Dan or Mac Jones after this one.
And Bobby.
Guys.
Good luck, guys.
Wave goodbye to everybody.
I'm waving.
All right. This has been a great little off the rail show this week, but show nonetheless. Producer TJ, thank you. Also for your takes, TJ. Noto, thank you. Bobby, thank you. And hopefully next week, Bobby will be back on camera. He'll probably smash all of his stuff this week and have to buy a new one by then anyway. So for Bobby, for Noto, for TJ behind the scenes, and for some of his plays, this is Chris Kirkwood signing off for the Tournament Takes podcast, Week 10 edition, and we'll catch you next week. Thank you.
Woo!